Hello everyone, back with an EDD alert. Now as we make our way through another week, we continue to monitor the ongoing situation with pending payments still needing to be paid out and claimants still needing to be transferred over to those new claims. Now there is a new problem that has begun to emerge impacting those who were on UI claims over the last 19 months, which is the EDD now informing some claimants that they need to repay benefits they previously received. Now, over the past several weeks, claimants have begun reporting receiving the Notice of Overpayment form from the EDD in the mail, similar to the one you see here, informing them of the particular reason why they now owe the EDD. We will take a look at some of the reasons why this is happening, but how some of those impacted may not have to pay it back to the EDD. Now, the reason why you would receive the overpayment notice would differ depending on the type of unemployment claim you were on. If you had collected PUA, the main reason why you may be receiving this letter is that you did not properly submit your proof of income to the EDD in the allotted time frame. For those of you who were on regular UI and or PEUC claims who received this notice, the two main reasons you are getting this form is either A, there were earnings you received while collecting unemployment that were not reported to the EDD, or B, there is an issue surrounding the reason why you are no longer at your last place of employment, including your former employer may be disputing your claim. Now, the reason why the EDD is getting to these overpayment notices now is the fact with so many claims were received during the pandemic that they often fast-track these claims for approval without reviewing those employer responses beforehand. So they are now going through all of their backlog tasks, such as processing forms they had received, including reviewing those employer responses. Do remember in May, the EDD said it would take 3.5 years to clear their administrative backlog with current staffing. Now, if you get the overpayment form in the mail, you do have the right to appeal, and you will want to immediately file that appeal, as you will be responsible to repay the EDD unless you are granted an overpayment waiver. Now, here are the top 2 questions in regards to overpayment. Question number 1. I received a notice of overpayment, but I can't afford to repay the EDD for overpaid benefits. Can I apply for a waiver? Yes. To be considered for an overpayment waiver, you must complete a personal financial statement, which should have been mailed to you along with the notice of overpayment. Question number 2. How will the EDD determine whether an overpayment waiver should be granted? The information you provide on the personal financial statement will be used by the EDD to determine whether an overpayment waiver can be granted. The EDD will determine whether the recovery of an overpayment would cause extraordinary hardship by evaluating your average monthly family income for the last 6 months. Now, states, based off guidance from the federal government, have been more lenient on overpayment situations than they had been before the pandemic. For example, just this past week, Florida announced they would stop sending those who received overpayment notices to collections for all non-fraudulent payments that occurred during the pandemic. Ultimately, it will be up to California on how they will handle those overpayment situations. In the meantime, we will keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.